What's going on, everyone? This is Silverback Stacker with a new video today. Today, I want to talk about the different type of silver you can buy. Now, this is more tailored towards beginners. Me, I've only been stacking for 1 year now. I've been on YouTube now for a little over 3 months, and I want to share some thoughts, ideas, some things I've learned, and also I want everybody in the community, especially part of my channel, to share their thoughts down below, what they think about the different silver options that are out there. We're going to go over silver coins, we're going to go over silver rounds, we're going to go over junk silver, other countries' bullion silver, and silver bars, because those are probably the most popular silver out there in the community that people buy. You know, you have little things like silver shots, this which is for other things, but some people buy them. There's other things you could possibly buy, but these are the primary silver that people buy and talk about in the silver stack community. So let's jump right in. So first, I want to talk to you about your country's silver bullion. Most of my subscribers are from the United States, but you may be from Canada, UK, Australia. I have some people from Australia. So for me, my country's bullion is the American Silver Eagle. The American Eagle is my country's bullion. So right here you can see it looks all right. I mean, for us, we don't really change our designs. They do have a new design, the Type 2s. I don't have any out right now, but that's probably going to stay like that for years to come, probably next 30 years, unfortunately. But very popular coin around the world. People stack this. Very, very popular. Right now, it's pretty high in premiums. So a lot of people in my country right now, they'll buy some, but they're leaning towards other things to buy with lower premiums because the premiums are so high right now on the American Eagles. But before the premiums were high, this is what we stacked in the United States. Most people, this is the very popular bullion that we stack. Yeah, I mean, you know, at one time, back in like 2018, 2019, you get this for about $3, $4 over spot. Great price. Some people, if they went to their local coin shop, might be able to get only like $2 over spot. That is no longer the case. You're going to pay for these coins. So that is that. Now, if the premiums weren't so high, if ever the premiums come down on these and you live in the United States, I definitely recommend stacking these. You probably want to avoid them for right now because the premium is so high. So that brings us to my next thing is, also I want to say this. I have these in capsules. You don't have to have them in capsules. You can just keep them in the tube. They come in a tube. It's a green tube. Oh, let me see if I can find one. When you buy them, they come in a tube that looks like this. There's 20 in the tube. So you put 20 of these in here. Right now, I have the 20 right here in this tube. I decided to change it. Now, do you need to do this? Absolutely not. You don't have to put them in capsules. There's two reasons why I put mine in capsules. One, I do YouTube videos and I don't like touching my silver a lot. Sometimes I don't like putting on gloves. So I decided to put them in the capsules. I probably wouldn't recommend doing this unless you just really want to. You know, you're spending extra money, just keeping the look of it. When you go to resell it, for the most part, most places it won't matter. Some places they do, very few, but for the most part it won't matter. I would just keep them in these tubes. That's what most people are going to recommend to. Just keep them in this tube. I just wanted to make that clear. And also, if you're a beginner, you might want to keep all your silver looking good. But I'm going to tell you, after a while, you're not going to care. You know, it's kind of like kids. You know, you have your first kid, you're very protective over your stuff. You're like, oh, I want to make sure this kid's nice and nothing happens to it. And then by the time you're 34 kids in, you're like, all right, go outside. Don't come back until the street lights turn on. So after a while, you won't be bothered as much and you'll just keep them in the tubes. That's pretty much how that works out for silver, all right? So, but if you can, I would just avoid putting them in capsules. I do it, you know, unless you just really want to, that's fine. Do what you enjoy. But if you're trying to save money and stack more silver, then I would just leave them in the tubes, all right? So that's for beginners out there. If you just want, you know, opinion about capsules, tubes, and stuff like that. If you get them in the tube, fine. If you want, if you buy some and, you know, you couldn't afford a whole 20, you can buy a tube like this, like a generic looking tube, very cheap. You buy them for like 75 cents each, $1, and they keep them something that looks like this. All right, and that still would be a lot cheaper than this. So that's just a quick side note for beginners out there about, storing their silver. Getting back on, now, if right now, since for people who live in the United States, the American Silver Eagle is getting very expensive on the premiums. So a lot of us decided to move into buying silver from other countries. So a really popular one for a lot of us Americans right now is the Canadian maples. They're beautiful coins, beautiful, beautiful coins. And you tend to have lower premiums. For the, you're going to find most of them with lower premiums. So this is kind of the one we go to. A lot of people recommend this right now instead of the American Eagles because of lower premiums. And I think it's a great option. If you live in Canada, it's great for you. If you're in America, it's still a great option. And I think that pretty much people around the world really enjoy the Canadian maples. A lot of people talk about it. It's definitely a great option. Another option, if you live in this country, stack them all day. If you live in Canada, stack these all day. And that is an option. Like another coin sometimes that goes on sale. And that's another thing about this, right? If you're trying to stack and you're worried about weight and maybe you just want to buy coins and maybe not silver rounds, which we'll get into in a little bit, is look at different bullion coins from other countries, like the Philharmonics sometimes go on sale. The Britannias from the United Kingdom, they go on sale. Check those out because they're nice coins and they go on sale, and you want to try to give them a low premium. That's the biggest thing is premium. Now, just to go premium real quick, premiums is there's a spot price. So, for example, right now, let's just pretend like the spot price right now is $25. If you buy one Canadian maple for $30, then the premium was $5 because there's a difference between what the silver costs, which is typically we use the spot price, and what you paid for it, which is you're paying that $5 in the premium over the spot price. So that's a premium, just so you understand that for any beginners out there. I don't want anybody to get confused. So that's what a premium is. So if the spot price is $25, you buy this for $30. It was a $5 difference, which is the premium. So it's $5, okay? So that's what we're talking about when we talk about premiums in the silver stacking community. So yeah, definitely check out Canadian maples, Britannias, Philharmonics. And this tube in particular, these I kept in the tube. I didn't put them in a capsule like this. This tube right here comes in 25. The American Eagles come in a tube of 20. You can definitely see the size difference. So know that as well. If you want a tube, if you're buying online, you want to get 25 of these, they'll come in a tube, or sometimes they'll sell them in a tube depending on your the site that you're buying them from. So yeah, for the Canadian maples. All right, now let's move into silver rounds. Okay, now these are some special rounds right here because these rounds in particular, 3 of these, will be going away from me. I'll be putting these in a gall when I hit 1,000 subs. I'll be doing a gall. I'll be doing a giveaway, and I'll be giving these away. So these are actually going to be leaving me. These 3 will be leaving me. But getting back into the video, silver rounds are made by private mints. They're not made by a specific country, and they're typically fine silver, which is at least 0.999. So they're typically fine silver. You want to buy fine silver, and you usually want to buy. I would highly recommend buying silver rounds from popular mints. And I know if you're a beginner, you probably don't know what those are right now. But like for example, this is Silvertown. That's a private mint. Sunshine Mint actually, from what I remember, gives the American country, this American Silver Eagles, the silver that they use, the rounds with blanks. They come from the Sunshine Mint. So that's a really popular mint, Sunshine Mint. I like the bars and the silver rounds. So you want to get from mints like this. There's other private mints. That's just 2, but there's other ones out there. And as you search and you look at different silver, you'll see the popular ones. You want to try to stay from the ones I would recommend for the most part, unless you can find it at a good price. And some people test silver, but there's some local coin shops, if that's what you want to sell, where they don't trust certain brands or they're not familiar with certain brands. Some people stick to what they know. Even peer-to-peer. If you're selling one person to another person, if they're not really familiar with the private mint or the coins, sometimes they're a little iffy about it. You know, especially selling peer-to-peer, they're not going to test it. So a lot of people don't test their silver. They kind of just trust it. So just so you know, that's why you should try to get from a private mint that's trusted and that's recognized. I would recommend that for everything. Is like, try to find deals on things that are recognizable, and that's going to come with experience. You know, try to stick to things that people are familiar with for the most part. That's like my big recommendation for everything. Some people tell you silver, and yes, I agree for the most part, silver. But I think you'd be kidding yourself. You think that everything is the same. Like, even with brands out in the real world, you know, it's like Tylenol. Even the generic brand, people say Tylenol because it's Tylenol. You know, it's like brand recognition matters because it makes people more comfortable buying things from you. But, you know, if the silver's getting tested, a lot of people are not going to care. So just so you have that. All right, so we'll move on to our next thing, which is junk silver. Now I'm going to open this up because I used to hate junk silver. Anybody who's been on my channel for a while don't know I hated junk silver, but now I love junk silver, and I'm so upset that the premiums went up so high. But that's a whole nother story. So here we go with the dimes. These are dimes. Now, junk silver is silver made 1964 and back. They'll say pre-1965, but you find dimes, quarters, and $half from 1964 and back. They were made 90% silver. They're made from 90% silver and 10% copper. It's so fun to play with. So fun to play with. It really is. I mean, just hear that sound. I'm gonna drop some. I mean, it's so fun, man. I have a great time playing with the silver. So right now, the premiums are going up on junk silver. It's a great thing to have in your stack. It's great to have some diversity. They used to be very low in premiums about, I would say now 4 or 5 years ago. Now it's high. It's getting up there. Right now, I'd say most places, it's at least like a $5 premium on silver from the spot price. Currently, it goes high as 10 now. Easy. A deal's 5, it goes high as $10 over spot price on the junk silver. How junk silver is calculated is a little bit different. How people buy it and sell it, I'm not going to go over it in this video because that could be a whole video by itself. But just know that 9% silver is junk silver, constitutional silver. They're interchangeable. Some people call it junk silver. Some people call it constitutional silver. So if you hear it called junk silver, it's the same as constitutional silver. They're interchangeable. But that silver is really nice. It's a great thing to have in your stack. Some people like to buy it because it's a good way to get fractional silver. Because if you buy fractional fine silver, it usually has a high premium. Where people used to buy this at a really low premium and it still was fractional. That's changing. A lot of people today that are big fans of constitutional silver, they'll tell you that the premiums are going up because it's becoming harder and harder to find. And the reason why it's becoming harder and harder to find is because people are starting to see the value in junk silver and they're starting to hoard it, and you're not going to find it places. And they're not making this anymore. So that's another argument, right? So, for example, like the round that I had, this mint, as long as they have silver, they could always make new rounds, different designs. Different coins are going to come out for different years on the Canadian Maples and American Eagles. But this right here is not being made. They are no longer going to make constitutional silver 1964 and back. It's done. So who knows? Who knows where the premiums will go on this in the future? I'm personally hoping they'll drop because I'm a fan of it, but may constantly go up. So that's junk silver. Remember, dimes, quarters, $half, 1964 and back, 90% silver. Okay? Very popular silver. You should definitely consider having this in your stack. One reason I stayed away from it for a long time is because, yes, it's not as nice and shiny, but that's fine. It's fun to play with. It's great. I love it. Just give it a shot. I know it might not look appealing when you get stuff like this. Might not look appealing, but I still say consider stacking it. Some local coin shops will let you pick which ones you want. Mine in particular don't. They just give it to you, but some places will let you pick it so that way you get better looking ones like this. Another thing is the order tends to be, I'll give you an example because it's something just to know. The order tends to be like this one is a mercury dime. These are older. These are the older versions of the dime. They tend to be a little bit more slick. And if you can see on the edge, I'll try to clean it out for you guys. There you go. So they tend to have less silver on them than the Roosevelts. But these have more history, and who knows, in the future they might go up in premiums. There could be an argument whether you get these versus these or these versus these. These definitely have more meat on the bone. So the newer they tend to be, the more silver they tend to have, just so you know, for your sake. All right, so that's it for the junk silver. Last but not least, let's get these dimes off here. Our silver bars. This right here, let me put this bad boy up. This right here is a 100-ounce silver bar. This is a nice one. Now, there's bars bigger than this and heavier than this, but this is like, yeah, this is a nice heavy bar. It got some weight to it. I'm not a big fan of bars, but I am going to start stacking them more. I realized I need to become a more boring stacker. So this is the only bar I currently have. This is 100-ounce bar. Now, bars come in different sizes, and bars are usually private mint. There are some countries that have bars with dollar amounts on them. You have different countries. I think the Canadian Royal Mint has one. The Royal Mint from the UK has one. I think Australia has one as well. There are some bars that do have dollar figure amounts, and they are kind of like coin bars. But for the most part, bars are going to be made by private mints, and they come in different sizes. They're 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce. You can even get kilo, 10 grams. There's different sizes and stuff. But I personally, this is my opinion, people may argue with this, but I think a good size bar to get would be a 10-ounce bar. Now, usually, the larger the bar, the lower the premiums, which is good. But then some people argue that sometimes it's harder to sell the larger bars. Some people say, oh, that's not a thing. Other people say, it is a thing. If you have a 100-ounce bar or higher, it's going to be harder to sell. It really depends on where you live at in the country. I've been all over the country and lived in different places, and I'll tell you that you really need to check with your local coin shop and ask them, hey, if I had a 100-ounce silver bar, would you guys buy it? They'd be like, someone would be like, no problem, just call us ahead of time, let us know, we'll see we have the funds, and we'll buy it from you. We don't mind buying 100-ounce bars. Some of them might be like, maybe we'll test it, stuff like that. If they're like maybe, all this other stuff, then maybe you should just stick with the 10-ounce bars. But if your local coin shop just says, hey, yeah, all day, we'll buy them all day, fine, you gotta talk. People gonna have different opinions based on their experiences. It really depends on where you live in the country and your surrounding areas and what your coin shop say. So that's that for the bars. I recommend 10-ounce bars. Like I said, there's different types of places that private mints that make 10-ounce bars. Once you run around for a little bit, like I said, you'll get familiar with the private mints, the popular ones. Stick with those, get 10-ounce bars. Now, what I will say for all this stuff, people will stack what they like, and that's fine. I'm all for stack what you like. I have some silver that I just stack because I like it and I collect it. All the stackers probably have a little bit of collector in us. But when it comes to bars, I really recommend you buy a private mint bar that's on sale. Try to find the ones that are on sale. 10-ounce bars, or even the 1-ounce bar. Check out the premiums, do the math, check out the premiums, and try to get the bars that's on sale. All right, with the low premiums. Preferably from a recognized private mint. So that's it for about this bar is getting heavy, so I'm gonna put it down. It's getting heavy. All right. And that's it for all the silver bars. That's it for the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. If you have anything to say about the video, if you disagree with something I say, leave it in the video. If you agree with me or you have your own thing you want to add to share with other people, possibly beginners in the community that just start stacking, leave it in the comments below. Hey, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And until next time.